Hello and welcome. Let's talk a little bit about Research Report 1 over Shirley Jackson. If you're watching this video, I hope you've already gone through everything else in the module and you're ready to read the instructions for the essay. If you haven't done the readings or other instructional videos in the module, please make sure that you do those before you start working on your essay. When you come into the instructions, the first thing you'll see is a reminder that we do not use AI in this course. This is a writing course, research-based, and you have to show that you know how to do all of those things before you can start using ChatGPT or Chegg or Grammarly to help you do them. This also means that you cannot use AI translators, paraphrasers, summarizers, note generators, outliners, citation generators, or any other similar service in order to help you on your essay. If, when your essay comes to me and it has gone through the Turnitin system, it detects any sort of AI usage whatsoever, then I will be required to do a further investigation, and if there are any telltale signs at all, you could earn a 0 on the essay, and you will not be allowed to resubmit or redo it. If you're very worried that you'll be accused of using AI when you have not used it, I strongly suggest you write your essay in a service like Google Docs, which tracks every single change you make so that I can see that you spent time, you worked on it, you edited, you went back, and so forth. Or if you're using Microsoft Word, I can track some of those changes, but you need to make sure that you're always using the same document when you save it and not starting a new one or copying and pasting into it once you've written it elsewhere. I need to be able to see all of that if any question arises. So make sure that you're tracking what you do, and the best way to avoid any accusations of AI usage is simply not to use it. Now, as to what you have to do for this essay. First and foremost, you are going to choose one story from this module and write about only that story, either the lottery or the possibility of evil. This is a research-based literary analysis that answers your chosen prompt using text evidence and credible academic research. Your job here is to make a clear and specific claim about the text and support it with evidence and explanation, not just give me plot summary. This should be between 1,000 and 1,500 words, and that does not include your heading information, your title, or your works cited. You must use at least 2 additional academic sources that you find through the college's library databases. You are not allowed to use popular or commercial sources for your main research. You must have those 3 minimum sources, your Jackson story, the 2 academic sources for a total of 3. Now, you can add other things in as long as you have those 3 minimum. If there's something that you found that you really, really want to include, that's fine. But remember that those will not be counted as your necessary sources. You're also for this class required to quote directly. Some of you have been taught to paraphrase, which is wonderful writing. However, I need to see that you can properly punctuate around a quotation and that you can properly embed a quotation into your own writing. So you must directly quote each of the sources that are required. You have to use MLA format for your in-text citations and your works cited. And this primary text citation rule says that you need to use the MLA citation that I gave you for the Jackson stories. They're on the same page where you read the story. They're in Word format, so you can download them and copy them directly into your own document. Please do not go searching the internet for a citation or create your own from some other place that you found the story. Use the ones I gave you. Your submission will be done right here in the same module through the Research Report 1 submission link, and I can accept Doc, DocX, or PDF. So make sure that if you are using Google Docs, you hit on File, Download As, and download as a DocX or a PDF in order to submit it. If you don't give me a file type I can open, you will have to receive a 0 because I can't read your work. Next, you will choose one prompt to answer. Only answer one of these. Don't try to answer all 3. Remember that your focus on this is text-centered and supported by research. You should examine how the story works, its structure, its language, its characterization or effects. what Shirley Jackson did when she was writing to make the story effective, rather than giving me your personal opinions of the story or commentary on what's going on in society today that mirrors this story. You need to give me an analysis of her craft and her skill, that sort of thing. So for prompt A, which would focus only on the lottery, you want to think about how Shirley Jackson constructs a community here that maintains this harmful practice without having constant justification, debate about it, or really forcing people overtly. You want to write a research-based literary analysis that answers the question, how does the community in the lottery maintain participation and compliance, and why are those methods effective? I suggest you choose 2 of the following text elements to write about. You can do more if you want to, or you can do something else if you run it past me first. But the things that will be safe choices include routine and repetition, distribution or diffusion of responsibility, language that minimizes or normalizes harm, the social roles and expectations that they have, silence, omission, or understatement. So you're going to use the academic research that you find to support your own analysis. You'll want to look up things like conformity, normalization, ritual, social psychology, moral disengagement. Focus on how the system in the story operates. If you write about prompt B, this one will only use the possibility of evil. For this prompt, you want to think about how Shirley Jackson explores certainty, reputation, self-justification, to allow harm to occur without challenge. So your question is, how does Jackson use characterization and perspective to reveal that gap between public respectability and private behavior? Your analysis here needs to include 2 of the following, or again, you can choose another if you run it by me first: self-justification and moral certainty, reputation and social standing, indirect or concealed harm, control exercised through concern or judgment, limited perspective, and reader discovery. Your analysis here should search for things like moral psychology, ethics, social behavior, character perception, and again, make sure you keep your discussion grounded in the story's internal logic rather than applying any sort of contemporary themes or cultural debates. The next prompt choice that you have is your choice of either the lottery or the possibility of evil. But here you're looking at Shirley Jackson's impact, which often comes from deliberate craft choices that she makes as an author rather than explicit explanation of what she's trying to talk about. So your question is, which single craft choice most shapes the reader's understanding of the story, and how does it function? Is it setting an atmosphere, symbolism, tone and diction, point of view and narration, structure, pacing, or delayed revelation? Which of those works the best? Again, here you will be researching craft, how it influences meaning, interpretation, and your paper needs to remain focused on the text rather than any personal opinions or contemporary political issues. How you will be graded on this paper will be on your focus and purpose. Do you respond directly to the prompt and stay centered on the story? Your text evidence, is it integrated well and does it follow MLA expectations? Your research quality, are you using credible academic sources that really deepen your argument and your analysis? Your explanation and insight, do you explain the how and the why the evidence supports the main point, and do you stay away from just summarizing the plot? The organization, is it logical and structured? Do you have effective paragraph development with clear topic sentences? I'll be looking at your style. Do you have a clear academic tone using proper elevated academic language? Do you have good sentence fluency, proper grammar? Are you clear in your writing? And of course, I'll be looking at your MLA accuracy and can you follow instructions? These things are very important and can reduce your score if not followed properly. On this essay, you will have massive automatic deductions if any of the following are missing or largely incorrect. Make sure that you properly follow MLA formatting. If you don't know how to do it, please review the resources in this course or the things you learned in 1301. You should already know how to do MLA formatting before you begin this essay. You must have a proper works cited page with the required minimum sources. You must have a required direct quotation from the text. You must use the provided primary text citation for the Jackson story, the one that I gave you, rather than finding one on your own. The common pitfalls that I see with this essay, things that have been problems in the past, are people who just summarize the plot. Assume that your reader already knows the story. Your job here is to analyze it. Do not use any first person anywhere in this essay. No I, me, or my. And also, do not narrate yourself. In this paper, I will. Or this paper examines. Or this paper focuses on. Or even things like this quote means that. Don't use the word quote in your paper at all. Don't use any subheadings in this paper. It does not need them. It is too short. Do not use wiki, student papers, homework help sites, free essay sites, or any non-academic websites for any sort of source material. Do not use research as a decoration. Every source needs to help you explain the story more effectively. Don't just drop in a quote for the sake of dropping in a quote. Make sure, too, that you are integrating your quotations smoothly. Introduce them. Explain them. Why are they there? Don't use any quotes longer than 40 words. Remember from your integrating quotations assignment that a quote does not have to be a complete and entire sentence, and there are many, many different ways that you can integrate it and introduce it in your work. Make sure that you stay specific to the topic that you're writing about. Make sure that you use the correct file format. And remember that final submission means final. Submit your very best work. We do not do revisions and resubmissions in this class. So what you do needs to be your absolute best, because these essays are the largest portion of your grade. If you need any additional help, you can always see the Research and Writing Resources area in this module or the tips and tricks in the class as a whole. You can also use the Student Success Center. They have on-campus and online support for tutoring and for writing. These are available to you as a student at San Jac, so you do not have to pay anything. You just make your appointment or show up and get the help that you need. If you have any questions on any of this, please do let me know, and I look forward to reading what you have to say.